If you work in corporate innovation, chances are you've run at least one pilot with a startup. And chances are it went nowhere, no contract, no scale, no business impact. And that's not bad luck, that's the system failing. Today, I'll explain why over 90% of corporate startup pilots fail, and the one collaboration model that actually works when companies are serious about results. I'm Elias Stefarikis, and I spent over 20 years working with corporations and startups across the US, Europe, and Latin America, designing innovation programs, venture initiatives, accelerators, and startup collaborations. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Most corporate innovation today is still innovation theater. It looks busy, it sounds strategic, it photographs well, but it rarely changes how the business actually operates. And here's why pilot fails, and nobody likes to say it aloud. Corporations don't treat startups like suppliers, they treat them like experiments. And experiments don't get bought, they get observed. In most pilots, I've seen four things are missing. No real budget owner, innovation funds the pilot, but innovation doesn't own the business case. No commercial intent, the business never committed to buying, only to learning. No internal buyer, the team running the pilot can't sign a contract even if it works. Number 4, no success metric tied to business outcome. Success becomes a demo, not a decision. So what happens? The pilot becomes a learning exercise, not a buying decision. And learning without buying is not innovation. It's corporate procrastination. I've seen pilots that technically succeed better, a better performance, real savings, validated technology, and still die because nobody had the authority to convert them into a contract. That's not startup failure. That's an organizational design failure to do this well. Now, let me show you the model that does work when it's done correctly. The venture-client model. The logic is simple but radical. Instead of taking equity or running endless pilots, the corporation becomes the first paying customer. The startups stay independent. The corporation gets a real solution to real business problems. The key difference are, I would say, 4. The business unit owns the problem. The budget exists before the pilot starts. Success means contract, no demo. Scale is designed up front, not discussed later. This shifts innovation from interesting to operational. When this works, the conversation changes from let's see if this works to under what conditions will we buy. That one question changed everything. Now, important warning. Even the venture client model falls if companies get these 3 things wrong. No internal champion with authority. Enthusiasm without power doesn't scale anything. Number 2, procurement joins too late. If procurement meets to start after the pilot, you're already late. Number 3, KPIs are innovation vanity metrics, like number of pilots, startups, number of demos. None of these paid invoices. If your main KPIs are how many pilots did we run, you are measuring activity, not impact. And this is where AI start to meaningful change the game. Not with hype and good prompts, with speed and clarity. Today, AI can help corporations several things. For example, pre-screen startup faster, match business problems to solution, stress test scale scenarios, reduce decision times so dramatically. But here's the truth, nobody markets. AI doesn't fix broken strategy. It only accelerates whatever system you already have. If your system is designed for learning without buying, AI just helps you procrastinate faster. So if you lead innovation, venturing, or strategy inside a corporation, here's the question you should be asking your team. Not how many pilots did we run, which is obvious and easy, but what did we actually buy? And this is the question that changed everything. On this channel, I'll break down collaboration models that actually work, the mistakes I've seen repeated for years and in different types of corporations, and how AI is reshaping corporate venturing for real. If you care about execution over theater, subscribe. And if you think this content is relevant, like so we can share with more people. This channel is about turning startup collaboration into business results. Bye. Ciao. Adios.